Hey guys, welcome back to Breakdown, and today is a State of the Wrestling thing. This will go up after, hopefully, it'll go up after my NXT review, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2 review, and SummerSlam 2016 review. And this is basically kind of a thing to talk about what's been happening on Raw and SmackDown. This is going up on a Wednesday, and I have not watched SmackDown yet. Let me tell you this week of wrestling was horrid. Horrid so far. Raw, I watched some people talk about it, and I don't know what some people were watching. But for one person I watched that said it was horrible. I agree with them. I don't even know how you could say this is passable. This was like horrid this week. It was bad. Like I literally watched 2 segments and I was done. I was done. I think I watched 2 matches and a couple segments. I watched the opening segment and then I watched 2 first matches. Did I watch 2 first matches? Yeah, I watched the 2 matches. And hoping they did something surprising in the matches, and well, of course not. Why would they do something surprising? I mean, BALOR's out now, so that's their thing that they were going to try and be new and fresh on, and now that he's gone, who knows now? You know, who's going to win this thing? Probably Seth Rollins. You know, why wouldn't they go with Kevin Owens, you know? Why? Because they just won't. They just won't. And you know they won't. And this is the problem that I see. Is Kevin Owens ever going to be a world title contender? That's my thing. Is he ever going to win it? And my whole thing is he probably should win the Royal Rumble, to be honest. Like, if they're going to make Kevin Owens, I think that they're probably going to see in everyone's eyes that no one's going to believe him unless he wins the Rumble or wins like a big match. And I think that he can go out there and do it. I don't think that they've yet put Owens in a position where he can have a great match. He had a great match with Sami Zayn. I haven't seen it, so, but I think they are beginning to understand that these guys can go out there and have matches. And even though whatever Kevin Owens looks like, whatever, I don't see Owens winning. But if they were going to pull off a shocker, they should have him win. What I would like to have seen, which was totally stupid, and they keep doing this, is they put people in the ring with with Seth Rollins that probably would be pretty interesting if they ended up in the main match with Seth Rollins. So they put Sami Zayn in the ring with Seth Rollins at the beginning of Raw. Well, who do you think is going to go over? It's like, I would love to have Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Well, no, that's not Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, but Sami Zayn versus somebody else, like Jericho, and have, like, Reigns take on Rollins. Hell, I'd rather see that again than seeing freaking, I don't know. But then again, that would have had the main event. But it should. Zayn and Jericho should have started off Raw, had Zayn win on, and then have Rollins beat Reigns, knock him out, since he's busy in a picture thing with Rusev. Why the fuck is he in the main event? I don't understand this. Stupid. If Reigns wins, oh my god. I probably won't watch wrestling until the title changes hands again, because I'm not watching Raw if Reigns is going to be world champion. It's stupid. It's dumb. Like, oh. And the thing about this, and I agree with a lot of people, they should have crowned the champion on Raw this week. Why are we waiting? We've already waited. We waited for freaking SummerSlam. I understand it wasn't predictable, like we didn't know, and maybe they're trying to figure out who's going to win the championship, and maybe they still just don't know yet, but they got it down to 4 guys that are going to win the belt. It'd be interesting if Cass won, but I don't think it will. But I almost see, I think everyone predicts Rollins is going to win it. So I think that Rollins will probably win it. But it'll probably be a really good match. I think it'll may end up being a clusterfuck at the end of Raw next week. I'm assuming it's going to be in the main event. Or maybe even if they do like a elimination kind of style match. And then at the end of Raw, they'll have a one-on-one match. I think that would be interesting. Maybe that would be different if they did it that way, to where they wrestle until two guys are eliminated, and then the main event will happen at the end of Raw. That would be kind of interesting. If they did it that way, that'd be kind of neat. Because that way you could have Jericho and Enzo get involved and have Kevin Owens and maybe Big Cass brawl in the back halfway through the match, and after wrestling for a while, and then it would leave Reigns and Rollins to face each other for the World Championship at the end of Raw, leading Rusev to cause Rollins to win the championship. Now that I've said that, it's kind of irritating that they started this thing with Owens and Jericho now, because if that wouldn't have been started, maybe possibly Owens could have been. But then again, you have to think about Rollins is the main event guy right now. So who would he even feud with right now? There's really no one for him to feud with. Like, Zayn is the only guy. And you fucked that up already, didn't you? And the only thing I could see that they did that was that they had a great match. Zayn came this close to beating him. So when Rollins wins the title next week, Zayn is going to end up being the contender for the championship. And then they'll be off and running. So with that being said, maybe they will have it near the beginning or during the first hour and crown the World Heavyweight Championship, because they had that at SummerSlam, and it really shocked me that they had it so early in the night. Because I think they had that, and then they had the U.S. Was supposed to be the U.S. title match, and then they had the Brock Lesnar, or whatever. And now let's talk about the Brock Lesnar thing for a second. Okay, this is State of the Wrestling. I'm going to talk about everything that happened. First of all, that Dean Ambrose Ziggler match, I knew that was going to be horse shit. And it was. It was horse shit. Horse shit. Ziggler ain't winning no fucking title. What the hell people were talking about? Crazy motherfuckers talking about Ziggler winning the championship. He ain't winning no title. What are you thinking? Anyways, Brock Lesnar taking on Randy Orton. This match, in the back of my mind, I'm just like, there ain't no way. He's just going to go in there and suplex him fucking 18 times and pin him. Stupid. I'm kind of getting, this was my whole thing about Brock Lesnar. Like, I liked him when he first came back in and faced John Cena. They went away for a while, and he was really selective when he came back. Now it seems like the last year, it's been lame shit after lame shit after lame shit with Brock Lesnar. Not a huge fan. Don't like really what he's been doing for the past couple years, for the past year, and it's just he's lingering off. I think what they need to do is have him get beaten by somebody to leave him laying. I don't think Orton would be the guy. Like, he needs to be a new guy. And to say that I think Nakamura should be the guy to do it, I don't know if they're going to keep him around long enough for Nakamura to come up, in my opinion. I think that either one, they're going to think that he's too much of a liability, or two, his contract's going to run out and he's just not going to re-sign with WWE. He's going to go back to UFC, which I don't know what happened with UFC this last time. He won, but there's a lot of things outside of that happened as well. With violations and stuff. So, with that being said, somebody needs to beat him. Of all he's done since he's been there, he's been almost nearly unstoppable. So if somebody beats him, and then he disappears and goes away for good. It doesn't have to be a retirement match. It's just something that makes him look bad, and he doesn't want to be seen in the company anymore. And I kind of wonder if they're going to do an Undertaker thing, and Undertaker ends up beating him at WrestleMania, and Undertaker says, I'll put my career on the line versus your career, and Undertaker loses and then retires. That would be interesting. I think a double retirement. I've always said that a double retirement match would be amazing. And I would love to see Sting in a somewhat of a last wrestling role, possibly wrestle Undertaker in a double retirement match, to where they announce that this will be their last match. And Sting knows that, he can't do a lot in the ring, but he's going to go out there and put on a hell of a match. But then again, I think Sting is the kind of guy where he never wants to go out and give a half-ass performance. So I don't think that we'll ever see that match. It'll be a match that people will talk about for years to come. But Brock Lesnar needs to drop. I think the only guy, if Nakamura doesn't come up in time before he leaves or something happens and they get pissed off at Brock Lesnar needs to drop the heat for somebody. And he needs to lose to somebody so that he passes on what he has done the past 4 years. And I think the one guy he needs to lose to is Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe needs to look like a beast. And he needs to come in. And I don't know how tall Joe is compared to Lesnar. I think Lesnar would be taller than Joe. But it doesn't matter. Like, Joe is a beast. And what needs to happen is that Joe he needs to come in there. He needs to go in there and he needs to get in a fight with Brock Lesnar. And Lesnar needs to win the first match. Joe needs to win the second match. And then they have a brawl on Raw or something, and then the next freaking pay-per-view, the blow off for the entire feud, possibly resonating at WrestleMania, would probably be when Lesnar would want to go out. Is let it happen at WrestleMania either this year or next year, and have Joe go over Lesnar and seal the deal, and Lesnar goes away. And even goes to the point to where maybe Joe beats Lesnar and says, I'm done with you. I don't want to fight you anymore. And then maybe Lesnar puts his career on the line to face Joe, and then Joe ends up beating him. And I think what needs to happen here is Lesnar needs to be babyface when it happens, and Joe needs to be a heel. But I think with Joe coming up, I think Joe is going to be kind of like that Seth Rollins guy, where people are going to want to cheer him. But he's going to be a heel. Kind of like one of those. It's kind of like a tweener. But I think tweeners are kind of gone. But Joe would be that guy that people would probably want to cheer, just like Rollins. Like, people go ape shit when Rollins comes out, and he's a heel. He's not going to change, and he's just always going to be Rollins. He's not going to change his character probably, and it works. It works. But I think that Lesnar needs to pass his heat on to somebody else. What he's attained all these years, these past few years he's been there, he's not really accomplishing anything. So when he does finally leave, for God's sakes, please leave soon. He needs to drop a win to somebody. He needs to drop a win to somebody. He needs to let somebody beat him. And Randy Orton's not going to do anything for the company. So it needs to be a new guy. It needs to be either one, it needs to be Sheamus. 2, it needs to be Joe. 3, it could be Nakamura. Any other person, Lesnar would probably say, it's not legitimate, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't know who. So he'd be a bit pissy about it, and he wouldn't do it. It would be really fucking hilarious if they let Jericho beat fucking Lesnar. If you don't understand, then you don't know what had happened. There's rumored that Jericho got in Brock Lesnar's face backstage, which, everybody knows how big Jericho is compared to Lesnar, and Lesnar would probably dispute that it's not credible. Whatever. Fucking pro wrestling, Brock, you jackass. Anyways, yeah. TNA, let's talk a little bit about TNA real quick. I checked out Broken Jeff Hardy, which is Brother Nero. I checked it out. Wow, what an incredible gimmick. This is awesome. Now, my whole thing about it is, what happens with storylines when the contract runs out? Can you take the storyline to another company? Or would they kind of be infringing on things that happen in the other company? I don't know. That's what I kind of wondered. Or they could take that character to the next show, the other show. I don't know. I don't think they could really do anything if they took the character there and maybe called it something else. I don't know. I think that they're doing some great stuff, and it's amazing that Hardy and Jeff could reinvent themselves Going in. Because I think if you could have said a long time ago, like, do you think the longevity of the Hardys would survive over this many years? You would probably get the answer, no. It probably will fizzle out. Well, it did fizzle out, but they were able to reinvent themselves to put another emphasis back into the thing. And let's talk about TNA for a second. What the fuck is going on? Okay, so you have this big, huge attention getter with the Hardys doing this thing, right? I'm watching this on YouTube, and I don't know what channel this is, whatever. I think it's a Botchamania one. But anyway, I'm watching this, and it's a recording of Impact Wrestling, and I'm listening to the announcers. Get different announcers, for God's sakes. Josh Matthews and the Pope. Why the hell are they your announcers? You can get Jim Bob and Sue down the street, probably do a better dang job at announcing. They weren't even talking about hardly any of the other guys in the match. They mainly talked about Jeff and Matt Hardy the whole entire time. I don't give a shit about what's the proper name for them. That's the people. Whatever. They're characters. They're talking about them for the most part, and then they would casually talk about the other girl. Ooh, but Matt's going back in the ring. Ooh. What about the other guys? Who the fuck are the other guys? They kept calling them by the tag names, not by their single names. Who the fuck are they? I don't know. I'll never know. That's why I won't tune in Impact Wrestling. That's why I'm not enticed to get the product any way that I possibly can. That's why I don't go out of my way to look for content for Impact Wrestling on YouTube. That's why I don't go to any other place to try and download anything for this content. I don't give a shit about TNA because of this. You're not enticing me. That's what the problem is. Your marketing ploys suck. Your marketing, your announcers, your wrestlers, in-ring talents are okay. They're getting better. But your writing is worse than WWE. And that's saying something. Plain and simple. ROH. Well, eventually I'll get caught up. But I am enjoying ROH. I am enjoying ROH. ROH TV has been really good. I haven't watched it this week. I don't think I watched it last week either. But I did watch like three. Like one night I watched like three, another night I watched two. So I think I'm in July. I think I'm in July right now. So I'm getting caught up. So that's awesome. Anyways, yeah, what else is there talk about? The Miz and Apollo Crews. Oh, what the hell is going? You know, I was all for Apollo Crews coming to the main roster, but I kind of WWE is complete assets. Okay, so you get this guy who can really, really wrestle, and they do this a lot. They did this in the past. He can really wrestle. WWE, we know what you want from a wrestler. You want them to be able to talk on a microphone, averagely. This guy can't even talk on a fucking microphone. Why don't you put a damn manager with him or something? Jesus. He's horrible on the microphone. He comes across like, I don't know, like, I was going to say Marty Jannetty, but Marty Jannetty was a damn better mic worker than this guy. This guy is horrible. And then you put him in a program with The Miz. If you're going to do that, give the belt to Apollo. But he doesn't deserve the belt right now because he's not very good. He's okay. He can work in the ring. That's it. That's it. No charisma. Apollo, no charisma Crews. That's his name. That's his name. That's what you should call him. He doesn't have it. He's missing it. Send him back to NXT. He's not ready. Jackasses. It's like they bring him up for no reason. It's like, thank you. You wasted time on this guy. He could have been in NXT. He could have been wrestling Alberto Del Rio. Not Alberto Del Rio. Bobby Roode. He could be wrestling Austin Aries. He could be doing these great matches on NXT. You wasted him. I think insert him where No Way Jose was. It would have been a damn better match at NXT TakeOver. Anyways, there were some cool moments in the match, but it was just horrible. I talked about it before, but he doesn't have no charisma whatsoever. As far as other things to talk about, why didn't Neville go over on Owens? I thought that would have been fresh. That he would have went over on Owens. And then they announced the matches, and I'm just like, why is Enzo not get? Why wouldn't Enzo not face Owens? Why is Neville randomly thrown in there? Like, is he gonna go after Rollins instead of Sammy? It's got to be Sammy though. Like, he's the only one that doesn't have anything to do. So either Zayn or Neville is probably going to be the guys to go after Rollins, the World Championship. And Neville doesn't really make much sense because he's not getting a win ever. I don't know. And the thing I want to say about Raw is the one thing they're lacking is put people on the show. I know that part of the reason is that some people could have time off. They can take a break. They don't want to be on the show. But you get a guy like Sin Cara. The cruiserweights are coming. Why is he not being featured on the show more? Why is he not wrestling, anybody on the show? Get a win over Darren Young, Titus interfere, or Titus come down. Sin Cara gets a win on Darren Young, whatever. I don't care if it's babyface and babyface, it doesn't matter. You book the Dudleys to look like horse shit for the past year, and now they're gone. You just wasted the Dudley boys. Stupid. Very dumb. Very dumb. Kind of pissed off with that a little bit because of the fact that they could have made them 10-time tag team champions, and they didn't. So now they're always going to be forever nine-time tag team champions. Kind of irritating that they didn't do anything with the Dudley boys. They didn't really have any prominent storyline. The only prominent storyline they had was with the New Day. That was it. That was all. This last run. It was stupid. They were put in Java ranches half the time, and they weren't put in any prominent roles. I don't know. I kind of hope they did stuff backstage. It helped guys backstage, but they seemed very cordial on their way out. Kind of sad to hear them. 2 people left. Bailey came. Maybe that means that Raw will bring in another tag team. Maybe they'll be the Authors of Pain. I could see that happening because the Authors of Pain really don't need to be in NXT, to be in my opinion. They're not one of those teams that we're going to go, oh, ah. They're big. They're huge. I think they're half Samoan or whatever, half retards. I have no idea. I don't see how they could stand out in NXT in any way. Like, they just need to be on TV every once in a while and squash people on NXT just to improve their mic skills, or I don't know. But not impressed. Their finisher was horrid when I seen that on NXT. I'm just not impressed at all with Authors of Pain. They're just another big guy team, and that era is done. Like, I don't understand what people are trying to do. Like, that era is over. Why are people continuing, like it's almost like why would they bring in a 7-foot guy right now? I mean, the only person I could see is the one dude from ROH. I just got done watching that match with him and Lethal. Oh, he's pretty good. He's agile for a big guy. He was doing like back flips over the top rope and Pele kicks or whatever and shit like that. I don't know. He was doing like a bunch of flips and shit, and he's like 6'5" or something like that. 6'7", and he was doing stuff over the top rope. I mean, that guy is a legitimate. Like, okay, this guy. But not only, why would you bring in somebody like the Big Show? You know, why would he bring in? Why would he even brought in Braun Strowman like 2 years ago? You haven't did shit with him. Like, seriously, like, what the hell have they done with Braun Strowman? Nothing. Like, what are they doing? I don't get it. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe. But this has been State of the Wrestling. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below. What happened on Raw, SmackDown? What do you like about it? I haven't seen SmackDown yet, so I'm assuming it's gonna be garbage. I did see they announced tag team and women's thing, but I haven't watched it honestly. But I've seen the pictures. Excited for that. Bayley's debut on Raw. That was the only entertaining part of Raw. Yeah. Balor dropping the belt was very unexpected. I don't know what I was trying to say a second ago. What was that? Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what happened. What do you think happened on Raw? I can't talk anymore. Hope you guys enjoyed everything. As always, keep on rocking and keep watching wrestling.